Welcome back. The United Nations Children's Fund has called on all communities to treat disabled children with great care and love. UNICEF says in its report that if disabled children are given a fair chance, they can contribute to the vitality of their families and their communities.
They have dreams, they have the drive to fulfill those dreams, and as we've shown in the report, given a fair chance, they contribute to the vitality of their families and their communities.
It's okay being vulnerable physically, so that's why I'm proud to call myself Crystal, because I want people to see me as a girl who is vulnerable physically but can be hard to break mentally at the same time.
Making a serious commitment to finding the children with disabilities, understanding their needs, including them in the design of solutions as well as the design of the evaluation of supports and services that are intended to give them a fair chance at surviving, thriving, succeeding. We need a great deal more statistics, analysis of data, so that we can make decisions about allocating resources. However, the point that should not be lost on anyone is that we don't need more data to start.
Meanwhile, the World Health Organization has warned that the new coronavirus is not a problem that any single affected country can keep to itself. The novel coronavirus is a threat to the entire world. According to the WHO, the virus is from the same family with SARS, which is also the same family with common colds. It is not yet known for sure how the virus is transmitted from human to human, except that it is transmitted after a long time of contact with people carrying the virus.
Looking at the overall global situation, my greatest concern right now is the novel coronavirus. We understand too little about this virus when viewed against the magnitude of its potential threat. The novel coronavirus is not a problem that any single affected country can keep to itself or manage all by itself. The novel coronavirus is a threat to the entire world.
We know that it's from the same family as SARS, but it's also from the same family as the common cold. So we see that in many cases it causes flu-like symptoms, so cough, severe fever, high fever, and then the bad signs when they start are when you start to get congested and it goes down into the lungs and it causes pneumonia, and this pneumonia then, because you can't breathe, your organs don't get oxygen and the organs start to shut down. So that's what we see in most cases, but then in some cases we don't see what we call this typical symptoms, we see atypical symptoms. So we've seen in a couple of cases that the diarrhea is the first symptom. We are fortunate that the virus does not seem to transmit very well. If you have close contact, if you're taking care of a family member or living in the same room, then you might have a chance of acquiring the virus. But we have not seen the virus spread in the community as far as we can understand. So that's important.
And with that, let's take a look at how the markets have performed today.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This financial market update is brought to you by Oasis Crescent Capital, your Sharia-compliant leader in Islamic wealth management. The Rand's continued weakness is evident against major currencies where it's trading at R9.90 against the US dollar and R14.99 against the British pound. The Rand is also weak against broader currencies, trading at 5.68 against the Indian rupee and 8.59 against the Kenyan shilling. Metals continue their recovery on the commodity front, with gold trading at 1,401.7, while on the other hand Brent crude oil has fallen and is trading at 101.8 per barrel. On the Islamic indicators, the Nisab is at 4,653 and the Mehr Fatimi is at 11,634. Trade is positive across South African markets, with the All Share at a healthy 41,577. Most global indices have fallen since yesterday, with only the FTSE 100 and the DAX gaining ground to 6,642 and 8,389 respectively. Markets toward the Middle East remain steady, with only the Oman index falling to 2017. Retreating Asian stocks have had an impact on the Far East markets, which are currently down. The Jakarta composite fell to a low of 5,130. This downward trend is also evident in Eastern Europe, where the Istanbul index is trading at 87,106. Towards the Asian subcontinent market, however, markets are strong, with the Bombay index at a healthy 20,215. Our focus today is around preservation funds and how this fund could be a suitable option for you if you are changing your job, starting a new venture, or even facing retrenchments. While you have worked over the years, a portion of your income would have been contributed towards your employer's group retirement fund. So when you leave that current employer, the question really is, what do you do with that retirement fund savings you've accumulated over the years? Preservation funds are excellent investment vehicles designed to ensure that you are provided with a solution to smooth over the changes in your life. These funds will preserve your retirement savings as per its original purpose without any tax implications on you. Oasis offers two key preservation funds for your convenience. Both funds offer life staging benefits that take into consideration your specific risk profile. Furthermore, these preservation funds are invested in a diversified selection of asset classes and are managed both in accordance with Islamic investment principles and Regulation 28 of the pension funds. Remember that you have the option to ensure that you continue planning and saving for retirement. This investment should be preserved and never cashed before its time to ensure that you benefit optimally later in life. Call Oasis Wealth Managers for a personal meeting on how you can best preserve your retirement savings. This market update was brought to you by Oasis Crescent Capital, your Sharia-compliant leader in Islamic finance. Growing your wealth the Oasis way, the compliant way.
Stay with us. After the break, we'll bring you community news updates.